Hello and welcome to Midwest Weekly, the show starring myself, Hairwiz, and an absentee CLT. So I had to go find a replacement in a hurry. Mr. War Initiate will be taking over the duties today. Now he's actually coming on as a guest. CLT unfortunately could not make it. So everybody, say thank you to Mr. War and welcome to the show, my friend.
Appreciate it. I'm glad to be here, and I can't wait to kind of go over everything with you.
Yes, and if you guys are wondering who War is, War Initiate. Well, first off, he's a mod in the server, but number two, probably more importantly, honestly, is he plays for Insane Banana Posse. He and the boys are always randomizing the rules of the splits, so he's really known for it anyways. But it's a bigger thing this time around with everybody on the team doing it. So they've
Yeah.
definitely been a hoot to watch, but also a confusing team to really figure out because you don't even know if they're going to be the greatest thing since sliced bread or the worst thing since, I don't know, just a straight peanut butter sandwich. So,
It
um,
is fun. It has been fun, even with us getting absolutely rolled for the last few weeks. Um, I'm finally on my main role for this week, the last person to be on their main role. So hopefully it goes a little better.
who do you guys play this week? Let's take a peek since we're already looking at it. Anyways, you guys
Play
play.
Femboy.
Oh yes, totally a dub, 100%. You guys win. It should be a fun matchup. If you're on your main role, I mean, I think you versus Noah will be fun to watch. Noah's obviously insanely good, so it'll be a task for you, to say the least. But
We'll see what Flame lets me play.
yeah, tell him you're playing what you want. You're in
Yeah,
top lane,
Let me just play Urgot and Nautilus, and I'll be okay.
for real. But yeah, we had some fun series this week and some changes in the standings. We had two undefeated teams actually drop a game, or I should say a series. So we'll kind of get into that. But starting off here, we're gonna get into the first series, that being the Hidden Leaf versus VIP series, and yeah, so we'll just jump right in. So VIP was supposed to switch up the roster, but they had some stuff going on. They weren't able to find the roster they needed in time, so I guess everybody agreed to play another week, regardless of what they've been dealing with. So we appreciate that they were able to play. Their first series here, or not first series, but the first series of the week, um, kind of highlights Hidden Leaf once again, though, continuing to move their way up and continue to play at the level that we kind of expect from them. Um, Arthidius has been a mid laner. I've kind of noted a bit, but a 9.37 score here on the Ari. I think he's having a fantastic season. We all know how Akaza is. We know what his capabilities are. One of the best junglers in the league, without question. A nice 5-4-15 Wukong game. Um, some shining there from really the whole team. I don't think anyone had a particularly bad game. Gojo and Amaki, popping up here as well with 6-1 and 8 and 5-2 and 5. So realistically, everyone played great. I'll highlight Toji too, since I basically highlighted the whole team in this game. 2-2-13 on the Nautilus, which I know a War will appreciate anytime there's a Nautilus pick. Um, on the other side, though, VIP, they had some people in, some people out, since they are just trying to make it work. So Pixel was in for them subbing for this series over Shadow, at least for this 1 week. Again, we'll see what week 5 brings from VIP, if they get the new roster in or not. Um, they seem like the normal VIP, able to compete, but just not able to get across the finish line. It's kind of been a trend for them all split, which is really uh, kind of sometimes disheartening to watch for any team, right? You know you're there, but you just can't overcome it. So we'll kind of jump into the games, and I want to hear War your thoughts a little bit on this series. You can talk draft, talk gameplay, whatever particular you'd like to bring up.
Well, so I know that um, Orn is generally just he's a strong pick in general. It is um, sorry, it is unfortunate that he had a good game overall. Um, I unable. Wow, I scrolled too far. There it is. Um, Against the Gwen, like it's a rough matchup. I've played the Orn side of it. Um, but he had a good game overall, going 4-4-3 on Orn, doing what he can, still getting a level 16 in before 30 minutes. But it's hard to really compete on a tank when everywhere else is just kind of crumbling. And that's not a knock against VIP. Like they've shown that they are a strong team when they're on firing on all cylinders, but they've just had a rough split. And it's highlighted by game one being 27-12. At the end of it, feels bad, but it's just kind of their mo for this split, and I feel bad for them. Like they almost pushed us to game three before game two just kind of fell apart. So it's one of those things like they're showing flashes, but that's all it really feels like. Again, like Gojo absolutely going wild. The whole team really did, but being a Gwen going 6-1-8, like you're just gonna be able to 1v2 anybody in the game, like with that score line. So it's I feel bad for VIP because they're doing well, but they're just not able to finish the games. It feels like.
Yeah, I do agree. Like I think in this early game, I know definitely in game two because I caught a bit of game two, that they were able to compete. Like there's no doubt in my mind that they definitely know how to play the game. I think Silent's been one of the better AD carries this split. Had some really nice performances, but he just can't doesn't seem to translate into anything meaningful in the overall game. Um, Again, Smudge, another one. Like I mean, you can even see her at like 6 minutes and about 45 seconds. Nearly solo kills Arthidius here on the Ari. It's stuff like this where it's like you see what they're capable of. You see the skill ceiling of their players, but for some reason that hasn't translated into a full team victory. Uh, I don't really know what it is. I don't think any of us do, but it does kind of feel like after that week one that maybe they were just like kind of just already kind of emotionally broken a bit.
Yeah,
You lose that
overall,
game two. Game one they were kind of beating you guys too, but game two lead was insane. We have
yeah, we
not
should not.
seen.
There was no way we should have won that game.
No, no, there's
Um,
not. Definitely not. But
Especially with how badly I played that entire game. Like I think I landed 3 Amumu Qs the entire game, and
yeah,
every single one led to me dying. Like I don't, I still don't know how we won that game. Outside of just Noob and Flame absolutely putting on their big boy pants and carrying the game themselves.
yeah,
It felt like it was a 2v5, and they were winning it themselves.
yeah.
So it's
It's difficult to say. I think War like when you really look at it at the end of the day, it's just one of those things. Like you said, it's one of those splits for them. They don't have it. Like it's whatever it is they need to have, they don't have it. They have everything else. They just don't have that final thing. With that said, though, you look at this game and you can see like even early on in the game, we're talking only about 10 minutes in. The score is 3-1 in kills. It's only about 1,000k gold lead. So things aren't going horrible. You know, they are getting punished a little bit here and there, and that's kind of what costs them. I think the tempo in the game. Like we just watched this clip here, Stunner trying to take the grubs. He does end up getting the grubs, but at what cost? You end up dying. You're off the map now. Wukong gets some
and only got
gold.
203 even,
Yeah,
with Wukong being able to get in and steal one. So it makes it even worse. Like so it makes it not as valuable because yeah, you died. Like sometimes that's worth it for an objective, but when you don't even get the full objective, it does feel bad.
yeah. So and then you talk about like topside this Ornn. Like this Ornn's going to be able to play the game early into the Gwen, but when the Gwen somehow is getting cold, is somehow 2-0 and hasn't killed you once in lane. Like that sucks because your champion gets outscaled by her tremendously, but you should win for a decent part of the game, you know. So, but really, what it comes down to the end of the day, for Hidden Leaf side, it's always to me the biggest factor is what version of Akazu you're gonna get, and if you get that very lane present, uh, dominant jungler that he is, it's always a hard ass to be able to knock off this team.
Yeah, it's like I said, it they do so well for periods of every game, and it just I don't know. It feels like I don't want to say that they don't have good macro, because they're all solo queue players and they're all pretty good in solo queue. but I feel like it's a team of solo queue players trying to compete with teams of a team of players. So they're going to have a different view on how to play the game from a solo queue standpoint than the team play standpoint. Like what you get from watching pro players when they play the game versus watching challenger gameplay, it's very different. And that's what it feels like. It feels like I'm watching a solo queue game from one side, but I'm seeing high elo competitive team play on the other almost every week. So I don't know if that's what it is. I know VIP is, if I remember correctly, they have like an academy team or whatever it was. So
Hmm.
they should have the know-how of how to do this, but it, it just feels like they don't a lot of times. Like right there, like the um, Seraphine not trying to get to Orn to help him and just trying to, dance and run away from the Ari, didn't really get to do anything because being able to at least help the Orn would have, like, yeah, they both died, probably would have died anyway, but they probably would have gotten at least one back if she had rotated to help him. But it feels like they're disjointed in their calls.
Yeah,
Again,
certainly,
like
certainly possible.
they're strong players. Like it's 15-11 here. It's about a 1K gold lead only, but it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, when you see some of the map movement, but it was a close. I mean, it was a close game. I mean, both games were, like I said. I remember watching part of game two and really seeing like VIP perform extremely well early, um, and then I don't know. I haven't figured out
Yeah,
what's happening. Like you said, maybe it's the points that you bring up. Maybe it's something else that we don't really know about. I'm gonna go back a little bit and see how we get to these dead members
I
here.
do know. I did talk a little bit with Peekaboo when he uh, did his step away. He did say that there was a bit of disjointedness, um, at least in regards with him. So I don't know if that's an entire team thing or if it was just like a him his communication being disjointed or not. But when one person open that was on the team openly says it, it does make me feel like that might be what it is. Again, we don't know the inner workings of everything, but it. I don't want. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus or anything, because but it with what I'm seeing and being and hearing that it makes sense to me that that's what it's got to be,
Yeah,
or something in relation to the disjointedness.
yeah, of course. I get you. Well, we've talked a lot about problems with that VIP could be having, and I definitely don't want to make them feel bad because I do think they've had some really strong
Right.
points parts, like you said. With that said, I mean the Baron looks to be the turning point of this game. Once they are able to get a couple kills, get Baron, uh, Tangy end up getting caught out here. Oh, what a nice dredge line by
Good.
Toby. Yeah, it was really really well played here, and that's pretty much
And
what's
like
going to
Hidden
solidify
Leaf,
the situation.
Hidden Leaf has shown who they are constantly. They've been one of the best teams that I've seen, all split. Like, yeah, they have some moments like they're undefeated, but it doesn't feel like they're a 3-1 team.
Yeah,
It feels like they're right in the midst of competing for that top spot.
yeah, I
And
definitely think so. I would agree with that take, 100%.
I mean, yeah, it's a four-way tie at 3-1, but doesn't feel like they're the same 3-1 team as the others from the bit of their games that I've seen and what I felt when playing against them. They felt a lot stronger than what we were expecting when we played them. Like we were expecting it to be a lot closer game, no matter what we really did, but it we got destroyed. So Hidden Leaf has been out muscling everyone they've played against, pretty much.
Yeah. No, they look good, and they could have easily won their first week as well against what is certainly a top team. It's been it's been interesting. I mean, Akaza, what a beautiful four-man there at the end. Way to set up the team and to kind of just
and
separate. Yeah, man, he's so
and
good.
the game's basically over at this point. I know it's what 29 minutes they finished the game, so they finished the game here off of this push.
Yep.
But even without knowing that, I'd be like, this game's over. Whether it ended now or not, the game just looks and feels over.
Yeah. After that Baron play where they got three members got caught out, it was pretty much what kind of snowballed the game out of hand, which is kind of
Yeah.
happened a couple times this week, and I think we'll discuss that more as the week progresses. But we're gonna go ahead and we'll jump here into the second game of the series here. So yeah, a 15-0-5 misfortune kind of sticking out to me, but also a Kazuya on the J4 4-0-15, kind of the opposite score, but he just has all the assists instead of all the kills. Really, really nice performance from both of them.
And
Nobody really looking like they had a bad
Thresh,
game.
the Thresh being 0, 2, and 20, not taking a single kill. As someone who plays a lot of Thresh, that's hard to do. Because your damage, it it's not there, then it'll suddenly you'll just one shot somebody, even as the support. Um, so it's Toji having an amazing game here, being 0, 2, and 20, not getting a single kill the entire series. I don't think.
No,
Oh
yeah,
no, got two in game
yeah,
one.
he got two in game one. A little more than not a single. He got two.
But still, like two playing Nautilus and Thresh, only getting two kills and having over 30 assists, 33 assists. That's really good for from a support standpoint
Yeah,
to not be taking kills
and it
and
started good. I mean, you're just talking about him, and then he lands a nasty hook there on the Silent Shroud to start the game here at 4 minutes.
yeah.
So, yeah, it gets off the. Seems like it gets off the rails a little bit for them, bot side of the map. Yeah, I mean, I think the interesting matchup here for me, it's something that you don't see picked a lot, but it's Xerath into Azir. Now, if you are an Azir player, you would know that that's actually not the greatest matchup for Azir. Now, of course, Xerath is an immobile champion, so he is susceptible to shuffles and setups from your jungler. But in lane, the Xerath does not struggle against the Azir. He gets the push, he gets the pressure, he has the range. So he beats pretty much Azir in all facets. But if they end up going for a any sort of front to back uh, front 5v5 fight, there is chance for the Zero always to pop off and the Zero to not be as useful. Luckily, though, um, I think they set up a really nice combo here with the J4 MF Xerath. Anyways, they just work so well together. Even though there's a
And
lot of
plus,
dashes, there's a lot of dashes in this game. So J4
yeah,
realistically should not have the easiest game. But yeah, as you see here, like an attempted play here from Smudge and Stunner, they do get the flash out of Arthidius. I think you definitely want to be able to land that Q. And this is part of the early game I was watching where I was like, okay, VIP is trying to game it up. Yeah, bot lane's struggling a bit, but they are trying to make plays. Stunner's trying to be on the map, be proactive, which is you definitely like to see. Um, but it does fall apart relatively uh, quickly for them in comparison to the previous game, and that a lot has to do with just how well bot lane was performing. But I like their draft. I think they did really, really well with the draft. I mean, Lee Sin into J4. That's a great matchup for Lee Sin. He's gonna outscale. But plays like that are so risky. Like the fact that he gets away with that kill is crazy, and Zereth doesn't clean up. I remember watching that live, going like, "What in the world?" Like,
yeah, that was very well played towards the end by VIP. But the beginning of that fight, it just looked like Tangy was kind of trolling because when he ulted Renekton into tower, there were minions, so the tower didn't even aggro him, so it didn't feel like the ult did anything.
oh, well done.
That's something I didn't know. I did not know Lee Sin's ult could knock someone over a wall.
Oh, you didn't know that? Well, now you know. Yeah,
No, I
it
did not
can.
know that. I've never seen it before.
It
Okay.
it depends on the angle, but and the wall, of
Yeah,
course, how fat the wall is. But yeah.
right. Well, now I know to watch for that. More reason to ban Lee Sin when I jungle.
You're about to get insect from like the next planet over. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean that's what I'm saying. You want to see the proactiveness, punishing Choji for trying to walk into the jungle without help. Supports tend to do that stuff, man. They get caught out for it. That's risky. That's risky business. Don't go messing around. You're gonna get caught out. You're gonna get punished.
And even here at
So
9 minutes, the game feels pretty close. Yeah, we got a drag and grubs on the side of Hidden Leaf, but what, less than 2K gold, 1,500?
oh
Doesn't
yeah,
feel that bad
no,
here.
VIP is not in a bad spot. They have pretty good scaling with the Azir Smolder pick. Um,
Yep.
so real and even Cassante doesn't scale too bad
Yeah,
here.
Kasate scales a lot better than Renekton does.
Yeah, the only non like scaler here is Lee Sin. And
Yep.
so actually that's why I'm even love Lee Sin a little more because he allows your early game to not be as
Yep.
rough. So, but unfortunately, like you don't win that 2v2 topside. It's very hard to ever win that.
That was
Uh,
well played.
yeah, no. I mean, Cassante I guess could do a bit more damage if he goes all out and gets like lands all his abilities, but he did not have his ult there, so that is a bit of a risky play. Trying to shut down the Renekton. I really just want to see if I'm in this game. You really just want to see Lee Sin camping bot mid. Camp
Yeah.
the immobile champions. He's gonna thrive
Yeah.
there. So, but yeah, we'll jump ahead a
Especially
little
trying to
bit.
get Smolder ahead. Like, if you can get Smolder on rolling, he's going to end the game
Yeah,
on his own. So, yeah, and the game is, at this point, is ballooned. We went from, what, 5 minutes ago, a 1,500 gold lead to a 5K gold lead
yeah.
in 5 minutes. Like, that's,
And you can see like what I was talking about. Bot lane just performing extremely well for the side of Hinleaf here, absolutely shutting them down on the bot side, but then also using that lead to transition to the rest of the map. That's the risk that you kind of take uh, when you're playing these immobile champions like Nami, like um, technically. I mean, I find Smolder to be an odd one. He has the flat flat, but it's not that hard for Thresh to get on top of him. You
no.
you you now
It's
become a
not a,
sitting target.
yeah, it's not a fast moving ability. It's, yeah, it's not that hard to really hit it, especially with how wide Thresh's hook gets.
Yeah.
Um, so,
But yeah, so you're down big, and this is what I was kind of talking about. They were doing pretty well in the early parts of game two, and they just kind of fell apart compared to game one. When 21 minutes in, the gold lead was basically the same. 15 minutes in, and it's 6K, and they're just pushing harder and harder down. So
yeah,
the game does last a little longer than maybe it should, um, but overall, like Hidden
yeah,
Leaf,
better to make sure you do it right than
yeah,
to do it quickly.
yeah,
And Hidden Leaf did it
did it right.
right. And they, like, yeah, they get outscaled, but when you're that far ahead, the scaling doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't, not at all. Hidden Leaf took care of business. It won this game pretty securely, able to get Soul, um, and yeah, week what's this 4, right? Week 4 in the
Yeah.
books, and when you look at it, like there was pretty much not a shot in the dark that they had much of a chance to win this game once they fell this far behind. Because now you're waiting on scaling timers that you're pretty much almost not going to get to at all. So poor Silent just trying to live, just trying to dodge. He's able to dodge all those, but eventually just gets sniped. Arthidius, nice little Q there. But yeah, so that's gonna be it on the series. I think we're good to move on. But yeah, GG's and hats off to Hidden Leaf as they find themselves 3-1 once again in a really strong spot, just like last split. They were undefeated last split, I think, if I remember correctly. But that doesn't really matter too much. Point is they're up and they're in a good spot. Now the
Oh
next
yeah.
series is probably the one of the week, and I so sadly missed it, and I feel extremely bad that I didn't really get to watch it over. Um, and if you guys are watching, I also want to say sorry this episode's coming out so late. I've had a lot going on, so I apologize. I haven't had time to watch games or really do too much. Um, but yeah, so here we go. We are getting into this next series. It's Mapogo versus. Wait, what's? Oh, there it is. Okay,
Sun
Mapogo versus
Gaming.
Stun Mythos. Yeah, I was like, why it wasn't transitioning properly, so I was a little confused. Yeah, this was definitely a shocker. So, um, Mapogo here. It's actually a dominant game one from them. I believe this is game one. Actually, let me double check.
The
Nami. Yeah,
Nordic.
it's Nami. Yep. Mr. Bufa going absolutely off here. Something I've seen picked up a couple times. It doesn't seem like it's having much success. Is Shen? I don't know what that particular reason would be, but I can definitely see it struggling against the Mordekaiser pick. Um, but yeah,
So
go ahead.
Mord is one of Shen's worst matchups. Rumble, Mordekaiser, Aatrox absolutely body Shen. He does not want anything to do with those lanes, because he, like, yeah, he stops their auto attacks, but the three of them don't really auto much. Mordekaiser does it just to get his passive going. So it's when I saw the Mordekaiser against Shen, I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. But when you look at it though, like that obviously is sticking out. But I mean, they all played extremely well.
Oh
Tango
yeah,
here on his classic quirky, doing his quirky thing. Really, if you want to look at anything, it's mid jungle. Lead and Samlad really didn't have like crazy performances, but when you look at their counterparts, 129 and Astros, they really didn't do much either to really shut down like the mid jungle duo here. So you're kind of looking at that to be maybe where you get your advantage, considering how this game was going, like what I'm looking at, right? Without really seeing the
yeah.
full game. But yeah, it looks like game one. CLT was saying last week you could just
Oh,
emailed some of these. I I think. Wait a second. Let me go back a little bit. You could have emailed this game in or something. It was his joke last week. We had a couple of those series. Um, maybe that's what this game one is. Because a 21-minute stomp for a team that I had ranked number one of the power rankings against a team that was 0-3. Now, don't get me wrong. I think highly of Mapago because they were a team that's been winning every week, just not winning the series. They're getting a win, they lose. I think highly of them. I always have back when they were their Ninja Turds. So no love lost found there.
I
Nexus and the
thought the
boys know
players
that.
were familiar. I didn't realize that was Ninja Turks. Okay,
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
sense.
So like, there's definitely no disrespect there, but it's one of those things like the way Mythos has looked, you're thinking like, no, they're gonna take care of business one way or another. Like maybe they'll win in three, but it's the opposite, you know. And this game one, I think, set that tone a bit. You know, I think when you're a team that hasn't really taken too many shots, and then this is the shot you take. This is your first like hit of reality. It really can like kind of shock you a bit. Obviously,
Yeah,
they rebounded pretty well in the game too, as we'll kind of get to in a bit. But um, yeah, I'm gonna see what was going on. I don't know how we got the 7 kills at four
at 4 minutes.
minutes. It's actually insane. So I'm gonna let that play out a little bit while we kind of discuss a little bit more of these comps because besides the match up top,
Oh,
I feel like yeah, I feel
the
like it should
flag.
be. It's so horrible. It's so sad. It's
Oh,
so
Rob.
sad. No, just stop. I feel like it shouldn't be that hard favored, at least early for Mythos or Mapago in terms of these rest of these lanes. Like Lulu and Yunara are pretty good duo. I would say one of the better Yunara duos. Oh, there's a nice gank though from
Wrap around bot lane.
yeah. Elite actually stole his entire red side. What a decision. I like that. Okay, I didn't even
Cleared his
notice that.
straight to his opponent's bot. That's no, he just took his bot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really messes with 129's tempo because now he has a choice of how he wants to play it. He can either walk straight topside once he has this information, or he can try to contest the blue side. But either which way, he has to make a decision. And obviously, contesting the blue side is going to be impossible. So he has to walk to his red side, but that slows tempo so much. And now Lead is cool with that because he got the gank off. His tempo is not going to be messed up because it's the same tempo as Jin Zhao's at
Yeah,
worst.
and also it splits the map and it puts Mordekaiser on the weak side, and Mordekaiser doesn't care about that.
Because he's already winning. He's already got his advantage. Once he
Well,
hits level
that and also
6,
Mordekaiser is one of the best 1v2 champions top lane there is.
fair enough.
He didn't use his
Oh
circle.
no.
He didn't use his
Is Sekko gonna
um.
die here again? Oh, it's so
Yeah,
brutal. It's
it
so
looks like it.
brutal.
Uh,
Uh
he used his W way too late.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
That's
he hasn't even W'd yet, has he?
no, I think he did.
Oh, he did. Nope, there it is.
That's crazy. We're just watching this back all both like what is happening? Oh, oh no.
This could not have gone worse for them.
That's like the worst type of start you'd ever see. Like if you're like any team, you just feel so bad.
Get it?
What do you do?
Oh,
Just forfeit at 20. I so now we know pretty much how they got the 7 kills. They were doing some really smart stuff, and 129 didn't even take any of Leeds' red side besides his Raptors. That's yeah, that's a rough game one. Um, I think if Rexy was here, he would say like
he's
that.
up. He's up a camp at the moment, but like,
Yeah,
who cares?
right. All right. Well,
He has 2 kills.
I think we have enough information to continue to scroll through this game and continue to receive our
Yeah,
email. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. Uh, and I mean the gold. I will say the gold lead isn't huge. That just shows you how well they're farming. I mean, you can see mid lane actually is up 3-0. Is doing pretty well here into Samlad's Ari. Um, but yeah, so like they are farming pretty well. They have a bit of an advantage here for Astros, but they just aren't able to turn that into anything more meaningful. And I could just imagine, when you are the only Fed member on your team, you now become the focus for this Vi Ari combo, plus having a Mordekaiser in the game, just looking at you being like free AP. I think that becomes very, very, very difficult for you to play with that lead. You definitely want to see some advantages across at least another lane somewhere that can help you out. But
it's 3-0 and 2 at 11 minutes
yeah,
on Mordecai.
yeah,
Oh,
that's unfair.
yeah,
That is unfair. So I'll spare Mythos the rest of this game. We'll go ahead and move on to game two because I think we have all that we need to know about this game one. But I think the rest of the series is pretty much just a banger. I would like to say from what I've seen at least. So
yeah. The
damn.
bet I saw looked pretty good, but I must have missed game one.
I think we didn't miss anything important in game one. So let's jump into game two here. Game two, um, you see that Stun Mythos was able to get a win here, and that's a lot thanks to Guma on this Kaisa and Astros. Holy moly! With 129 having themselves an actually mid jungle masterpiece here. 4-0-23. J4 game two having himself a week, it appears. But
Yeah,
yeah, Vlad, 15, 5, and 7 is insane. Vlad's always a champion that I find it can be very difficult to play against or very easy to play against. It just depends on your draft. When you do look at Napogo's draft, I don't really see too much that Vlad cares about. I mean, like what is Rek'Sai really gonna do? I guess knock you up, maybe. he does.
maybe.
He doesn't care.
So I will say that Mapago's team comp feels like it's just all over the place. Um, Azir, yeah, he wants to dive in, but he would prefer for the enemy to come in first so he can get to the back line. Ornn is long range engage. Bard is long range engage, but then you have a Sivir and a Rek'Sai. They just don't feel like they match what the rest of the team's doing. And J4 completely counters Sivir because, oh yeah, you spell shielded his EQ, then he ults, and now what? Now what? So the J4 second rotation on red side after the Sivir was locked in, absolutely perfect pick. Um, and like you said, J4 just absolutely showing out in week two here.
Yeah, especially early on. Um, I will say that there is a chance that if Mapago's comp gets online, they are deadly, without question. I mean, Sivir certainly will outscale Kaisa. Bard is going to outscale the Nautilus. Um, mid lane is definitely a zero favorite in scaling, but it's just hard to do damage to Vlad. So really, they have the setup, and you have the Ornn. So you have a pathway to victory. You have a comp pathway to victory. I just don't know if you can get there based on, you know, the heavy aggression from these lanes. Like Vlad, for all he's worth, really level 6 power spike is kind of insane. He's happy
Yeah.
to trade into you, gets one item. He does lose out early. Yeah, that was a beautiful pull by Astros. Oh my goodness, wow, oof, that was gross. That was
And he lives.
yeah, that
He
was
survived the
gross.
turret shot.
I don't think that was supposed to happen. By the way, that was insanely played by Astros. Put that in the highlight reel, bro. Um,
Good hook off by
yeah, no, for sure.
by
But they should definitely scale really well in this game. And in fact, they're doing some good things. I mean, bot lane's looking like we're already seeing from them. They're having some success. This seemed to be a bit of a bloody game. Like when I first popped in, it was the kills were like 4-5 or 5-6 or something like that, or like 9 minutes or something. So very bloody game. And Mapoko is really good at making games bloody. I'm not gonna lie. That's another thing about them. They're very volatile as a team. Why they're so fun to watch, but it's also why I think they're always in every single series because they
yeah.
don't make the game so structured all the time. Don't get me wrong, they can play with very good structure. They're capable of that without question. But like when they need to turn it into a I don't want to call it a solo queue game, but a more maybe flex type game. Let's go with that. Let's go to
Fiesta.
flex fiesta. We'll call it that. They know how to do it, and it can throw teams off. But when they are playing a bit out of the structure, they seem to get punished a little more. So I think that this game too kind of shows that they're playing a bit chaotic. Maybe they felt good about game one. Maybe that's the problem with game two. They seem to win like a game in the series. Maybe after a win, they just feel themselves too much, and that's a bad thing. Um,
Maybe.
they get a little sloppier. Well, we're up one. We can afford a loss. I'm not sure, but there's definitely something going on there. So, but yeah, you see this game progressing. It's very close. It's very tight. Game two here. Uh, but yeah, I mean, is there anything else that kind of sticks out to you in these drafts or something from these
So
teams you've seen in the past that sticks out?
I mean, based on like the just looking at like the end score line, based on what we're seeing at 11 minutes, it feels like it feels like it should have been a close slugfest. But clearly, we're gonna like the game's just gonna absolutely tilt. I would assume soon because the game was a 26-minute dump based off of the kill scores. Um,
Yeah, I was talking to I think Rexy about this last week. The game does feel a lot more snowbally, and it can accelerate out of hand, out of nowhere on you. We'll
oh
get to
yeah,
we'll get to my series, but I actually rewatched my series, and I discovered things too. Where it's like, well, these games were actually insanely close. Like, what? And yet, when we lost the game, you'd be like, well, what happened? How did you end up here after being here? There's a lot of like any small mistake, especially against a top team, they're gonna punish it, and they can blow it wide open. And I think that's kind of what the story of a lot of this season has been so far, across even the pro regions too. Like if you keep the game close and tight, that's good for you. But any mistake you make, 100%, you can't get it back like you normally could in previous seasons. It feels like you all of a sudden you're
yeah,
down 3 or 4K. Yeah, we've had some teams kind of crumble when they have leads. Don't get me wrong, that has happened as well. But generally speaking, if they're a dominant team, they're gonna turn off the lights because it's time for nighttime.
yeah. Like I've been like I've had a few games recently where someone complains about the top laners inting. Like it's always the top lane's always inting this season because it'll be like one close fight at 3 minutes, and then you're like, well, they only have a long sword and boots to my long sword. I should be able to still 1v1 them. You lose another 1v1, and then every time they come to lane, they're just jumping you. And suddenly now you went from being 0-1 to being 0-4 in the span of a couple of minutes with because the fact that you get to lane faster. Um, the game just like it gets accelerated, like you said, out of nowhere because of like the fact that you can get back to lane faster, you can get to objectives faster. The game is just being accelerated, but it doesn't feel accelerated until it is,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
No, I can see what you're saying, but that's I think the biggest thing about the game right now. Like you said, it's home guards changing it, and so the game has become extremely snowbally. There might be some other factors as well. I mean, I think jungle tempo now it's insane. Like you need to farm camps immediately, and then you're just doing stuff for the map immediately. Like there is no downtime anymore. Camps don't spawn super late. They spawn instantaneously. It feels like everything just starts immediately. Most basically once you step onto the rift, and then it never stops. But
Oh,
it's not that much different from last season when they had Otacon. There was always something to fight over. Now there's one less
yep.
objective, but the game is just it's still always constantly on tilt, constantly moving. Like you don't get that break. This isn't season 3. This isn't season 5. I don't even think this is season like 9 or 2020 or something. Like this is a game of inches, and it's all about being faster, making sure your reset timers are correct, making sure your tempo is good. Because at any point you mess up, the game just breaks. And you look here, like you said, like the game is close. It's still only a 3K gold lead here at 20 minutes for the side of Mythos. They've got 3 Drakes, which is another a point. Rexy talked about it last week. Was how important Drakes are now. They seem a lot stronger. If you can get Soul early, I mean that puts yourself in such a good
Okay.
spot to win the game. Go ahead.
Well, especially with Otacon, like you said, being gone, Drake is the only objective for half of the game. You get Grubs at what, 7 minutes,
Yep,
5 minutes,
7 minutes. Yeah.
and then you get Harold at 14, 15, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and then you don't get Baron until 20 minutes. By the time Baron spawns, you've had a chance at 3 dragons.
Yeah.
So Harold is Harold. Like we have a major disagreement on our team about the importance of Harold. Um, some of us think it's more valuable than others, and it leads to it just not being taken a lot. So we run into the problem that we just give Harold a lot because of that. But the grubs, though, if you're not on the side of the map when they spawn, they're gone. Like if you're clearing top to bot and you're on bot side taking your camps when they're up, and the other junglers started bot side, they're gone before you can get there.
Yeah. I think Rubs and Herald are cool to have if you can get them. I mean, I don't think they're necessarily a completely ignore them objective. Um, I think Herald is more of a help win faster type objective. Like if you're ahead,
Yeah,
it's great. If you're behind, it can tilt the game a bit. But usually, if you're behind, it just feels like a consolation prize, and it really doesn't matter. You're just getting it because the enemy team really doesn't want it. It feels like. Um, so, yeah, it's an interesting meta, and I mean, it looks like it's gonna come down to this last fight here. They got it up to 4K at this point, so it really is still even a close game. It's just never really until it's just the dragon soul stacking is the biggest difference.
I'm getting it
Um,
in the middle of that fight too.
yeah, it's so hard. Like,
Nautilus lives. Like, how does he live there?
stuff's
Because of the Keptech soul giving him the damage reduction. Oh, Seko, that was rough.
I don't think it matters because Guma's like,
Oh,
I got this killer instinct. Let me knock this guy down real quick. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, what a game too. When you look at this game, like it's definitely a game. It's not a blowout by any means. I know what how you were saying it felt like it just kind of breaks, but it doesn't really break. It's a slow bleed, and you just aren't able to contest over the soul, and then you lose the Chemtech Drake, and all of a sudden now your game is pretty much unplayable. That's just kind of the situation from Go. There's still always a chance if you again can scale, but now like you're basically praying that you get to 30 minutes, but this Baron is pretty much like their way to win the game. It's like, all right, we got Baron, we got Soul. What can you do to stop us? We've got. It looks like enough tankiness on our Jarvan. There's pseudo tankiness on Camille. You're not killing them for free. It's so difficult. So really, just
yeah.
hats off to Stun Mythos. Like bouncing back after what was probably something they're gonna look back at if they watch this episode too. They might even comment on it. A bit of an embarrassment type of game. You wanna scrap out of your head. It never happened, and just move on.
Yeah.
And they clearly did that. They took it. They said, we ran it down, guys, but it doesn't matter. Let's take care of business game two, and they did so. So congratulations to them. I think we can now jump into what is the last game in this series, and this one appears to be the biggest banger of all. It was a 32-minute game, so it lasted a while, nearly 33 minutes. Uh, there's some good scaling on the side of Stun Mythos. Initially, just looking at this, a champion I haven't loved a lot this year, but I don't hate is the Varus. Karma has been historically like really really good in our league. This is actually
Yeah.
her first loss. Um, but man, Mr. Bufa just like he would not be denied this series. You saw he was playing extremely well the first two games,
Yeah.
and he just continues that trend here with this Hen going 13-0-4, and basically told the rest of the team, just get on my back, and I will carry us to victory and get our first win of the split. That
So my,
Go
my
ahead.
opinion so far of at least Mr. Bufa is he's an early MVP front runner for me. He when he's in the game, he feels like the best player in the game. Even when he's behind, like his team was getting demolished in game two, and he still had a better score than the Camille,
Yeah,
the second. How? So he's planting his flag saying, I'm here, I'm better than you every single series, even
yeah.
when he's on a tank.
Well,
And
I think that's an interesting take. I think it's hard to give the MVP to anybody whose team is 1-3.
I
I'm
know,
I'm
well,
not against the conversation. I always
yeah,
say to me the MVP is going to be the guy that gets his team in the playoffs when they shouldn't be. If
right.
that's Mr. Boo for this split, then I am totally on board with the conversation. There's definitely some other names that'll pop up. I generally don't start talking MVP, for me at least, until uh, I get a little more deeper into the season. And since we have 9 regular season games,
Yeah.
I might wait a couple more weeks to kind of give my views. But I respect your take, and I think
It's
it'll be
just the
very
eye test.
interesting.
It's
Yeah,
just that initial like knee jerk reaction. Like every time I see him play, it feels like I'm watching a diamond player against gold players. He it's mind blowing to me. I really hope that when we play them, I get top lane because I want to see it front and center. I want to challenge it myself. That's why I have that feeling. I don't like nothing against any of the other top laners in the league, but he's the one that I want to play against.
yeah. Well,
Even if he destroys me, I still want to play him in
hey,
particular.
I respect that. I respect that you're willing to just find out how deep the rabbit hole
How much
goes with
better
this
he is
guy.
than me.
Yeah, well, I think you should be nicer to yourself. You're certainly not a bad player. But yeah, Mr. Bufa seems to be playing on an extremely high level at the moment. But let's kind of talk about this game a little bit. Of course, we know what happens top lane. Is that matchup a bad matchup for Mundo? I don't really know Zehen
So
matchups.
if I see a Zehen, I lock in Aatrox. Uh, I don't want to play against him with anything else because I found that at least for me, Aatrox beats him. I don't play Mundo often. I don't couldn't tell you the last time I played Mundo outside of ARAM, so I don't know. But I could tell you that Zehen's early game is stronger than Mundo's. So in theory, Zehen should be able to win it because he's got two forms of CC. So one form to pop the passive, second form to continue the fight, back off, reset, get his abilities back up. Early game, he's going to be able to CC him get twice in the second round. So my thought process is it would be a good matchup for Zan, especially with how much healing he has the whole game. Um, as we see him 1v2ing.
Yeah, oh, he gets passive here, so now 129 knows like it's not even worth fighting. Like even if I manage to knock this guy down, he's just gonna ruin my tempo. Smart. It's really smart by 129 to be honest. Like
Yeah,
because you're not killing him. It's like what's the point of
don't.
wasting your time? Like even if you pop your HP lowers, you're not messing up your tempo for what's not gonna be a kill anyways. So I think it's a really smart decision from him. But yeah, the 1v2 commenced up there. Mr. Bufa already showing that he's ready to put on a show in this game. Um, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I think Mundo's a very interesting champion. I think he's certainly not bad in the game three. He always like if you really look at everything, there's nobody that really, unless the hen has something in his kit I'm not aware of. There's no champion that's really good at destroying HP builders in this game. No percent HP damage, unless again Zehen has in his kit. I think he
I,
can build Bork, but I don't know
I
how
don't
much he
think
loves it.
I don't think it's worth it um, to build Bork on Zahen.
Yeah, maybe there's something to do with his ulti or something I'm not aware of. And if there's somebody in the chat watching, feel free to let me know. I'm not too familiar with Zen's complete kit yet. Still learning some of the small intricacies, even though I pretty much know the abilities now. So, maybe there's something going on there. But I do feel like Mundo should be okay as the game progresses. Like, I feel like he should have a good time. The comp they set up seems pretty decent. I like the Wukong with the Syndra. Again, Varus looks nice, but it gets hard to play in as a hen as these champions once he goes and becomes this god. When he gets online, I could see it being very difficult because he can actually dodge a lot of your CC with his ult as well. So, um, yeah, but let's kind of get deeper into this game, shall we? Let's kind of see what's going on. I don't know, maybe the 15-minute mark. I mean, yeah, look at this. We're tied up.
Dead, yeah.
Yeah, dead center. I'm gonna just go to a Drake fight here. We see Drake's being really close, and we do have Drake number 2 coming up. I want to see if there's a big fight that breaks out. Maybe. Um, I also will say I love Malphite pick. I think Malphite at this moment in time doesn't care too much about AP like he used to. I just it sounds strange to say out loud, but like I guess he cares, but it's in the sense of like he's coming out of the jungle. He really doesn't
Not as
mind.
important
Yeah,
as it used to be.
yeah. Coming out of the jungle, I think it's not as bad unless you go heavy into AP. If there's
Yeah.
like 3 AP champions, maybe 4, like that's different. But and I also
He's
can
also
see
one
him.
of the best champions in the game right now in multiple roles. He's
Yes,
playable mid. He's a top five top laner. He's a top five jungler. And him making it all the way to game three through pick ban is kind of crazy to me because like it it's so late. Like and it's pick three on red side. So it's not like it was first rotation red. He almost made it to the second rotation of bans. Like so him lasting that long without getting picked or banned in a 3 game fearless series is kind of wild to me.
yeah. I think he doesn't really do well into a lot of the meta junglers. Like he's not that good into them, and he's not bad. Like you can pick it into Shenzai, you can pick it into Pantheon Wukong. Like you're fine, but like ganking power and early dueling threat, he doesn't have too much of that. I'm like, oh my goodness, Mr. Buffett. Oh, what the
How
heck?
did
How do you? The edging is so ridiculous. It's like I just clip over a little bit. And I just see that happen, man. I can't put that. Where's our plays of the week, man? We need those back because that was one of them right there. All right, we're gonna hear. We're at another Drake fight. I'm trying to see. Is there a point when this game kind of breaks? I mean, it's still 48 to 46K. It's not a big gold lead. Um, they're coming kind of slow to the Drake. They're just not committed. I feel like
Mr. Wolf chunked out there?
yeah, he does get chunked, but I
But
feel like if you oh okay, solo
there you
ulti on
go.
Astros.
Full health.
There we go.
Well, who cares? And
Yeah,
passive's going too. Like
he's just in there fighting everybody. It seems fair and balanced, honestly. Yeah. But that seems to be like what starts it right there. That fight at the Drake. I feel like if they were Stun Mythos was committed to the Drake, just were hitting and then trying to sprint out afterwards. Yeah, Mr. Boof is on the side. You don't want to ignore the Zahen or whatever, but your goal is to get the Drake, right? Your goal is to stop the Drake stacking, try to stall for as long as you can. Um,
yep.
and that's what you're trying to accomplish. But yeah, after that, I mean, you see it snowball a bit, and I'm sure either a Baron fight or a Soul fight are what's going to cause this. They do go Baron, so I wonder if they even have a Soul fight. Oh, they do. I just gotta scroll a little bit in. So Soul spawns. They get the Baron before Soul spawns, which is really good if you're the side of Mapogo. His Malphite just kind of walking and taking. Oh my goodness, Nexus! Oh, that stop. Oh well, that is certainly a way to lose the game. You can't even be mad at that point. I was just really well executed there by Nexus, and led following up, just getting the beautiful engage, and that's going to be the game. Yeah, this series was an absolute banger. I'm so impressed with what Mapago has been able to accomplish, um, and being able to win
Despite
this
not
series. Their season is still
despite only
alive.
having one.
Yeah,
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 they're definitely a strong contender despite their record.
yeah. They're in the thick of it without question. But you know who else is in the thick of it, man? Well, that's Femboys, who, let's
Yeah,
just say, they put on a clinic here in this game against Notorious Thieving Raccoons. Well, this series, it wasn't very pretty. I don't think there's too much to talk about here. Um, yeah, yeah, it was a bit of a, it was something. Uh,
yeah,
the Raccoons, doing their best. They had a lot to deal with. Some players couldn't play. Dead people filling in here. It was specifically Rayomen Sakuna and I was calling this Tom Kench Taylor because it just looks like seven's probably supposed to be a T.
that would be
Um,
my
yeah,
suggestion
yeah,
too.
yeah. It was a game. Yeah, it was a game. I think Femboys they're tired of losing. They got to put it on. They got to put it on teams, and this is kind of the start. We'll see if they continue that trend. They're coming into this. They were 1-2, so they're gonna move to 2-2. But it wasn't. It was no joke. It was no joke from them. So you got any thoughts on this game?
I am surprised that Yasuo got a lead against Anasis. Um, just being honest, like, because yeah, he has his dashes, but the Nasus W just kind of like shuts off the champion because you can't auto attack, and you're an auto attack based champion. You have lethal tempo for a reason, and he just beats him. Like, I got a whole lot of nothing. Like he went he the whole team just kind of like steamrolled.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Staney did his darndest, and it's more in game two to kind of settle things. He ended up going top lane this series. It was a bit of a funky one to say the least. But yeah, I think the thing with the Nasus is I don't know what Staney was maxing, but I think maxing W honestly would have been fine here. You're cool with just being able to Q stack without having Q maxed. I just maybe put 2 points in Q early just to help with it a little bit. But yeah, I mean your W is just going to cripple him so much, like you said. So if you're looking to get pressure, play the side lane. That's how I would think to play it. It makes sense. But try as they might, there just wasn't much they could do. Wayne Grad he hits the dive here, goes 1 for 1. Yeah, this game. I wish there was more to talk about in this game, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys. There is not a lot to talk about, and I don't mean
Boy,
that in a
it
mean way.
does look like it
Yeah.
was.
um.
We're 5 minutes in, and it was 4-1. We're now 11.5, and it's
Yeah.
10-4.
I do want to give some credit though. I think the bot lane here, the sub bot lane played actually pretty well into Angel Boy and Ashes early on. Do want to give them some credit here. I thought Taylor was finding some nice plays. I also want to give credit to Penguin Jack for being proactive on the map, making some plays bot side, especially in both of these games. And then Dionysus and Stanley, we'll talk about more, especially in game two here coming up in a second. But yeah, this game one, it just once Femboys got their lead, and we know what Femboys is capable of. They are the back-to-back champs for a reason. Uh, they just kind of took it over. Um, Wayne Grod obviously had a really nice game, and Marika just with the Nocturne were kind of just styling together. Inferno was doing some work, and it's always interesting to see Seta 80 carry. You don't see that a lot, but it worked out here. Angel Boy, like, he didn't like extremely pop off, but he did his job like extremely well, and just showing teams that they're willing to and can play many different styles than just one sort of comp. I don't know how often he's gonna pull this Senna out, and I will be curious to see if he does it again this split. But it definitely didn't look too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead though if you're cool. I'm gonna just jump into game two. I think game two is
Yeah.
a little more interesting. Game two, game two is a banger, man. Game two had
This
a lot of
this
excitement.
team comp is making my headache worse.
Yes. So welcome
Looks like one of our team comps.
welcome to
Oh,
League of Legends, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, okay. First off, I see why people are banning this guy's talent. Dionysus, like he made so many highlight clips, like for the entire season, just in one game. The dude was absolutely cracked. 13-5-2. Staney was playing Jack Stop, and he just decided that lane was not important. I'm just going to run around the map and kill people, and it was actually so much fun to watch. He actually solo killed Wayne Ground multiple times. This is a Zed, by the way, without flash. You want to ignite exhaust. Inferno pulling out Tryndamere, jungle, and of course, whatever this bot lane is, Angel Boy and Ashes doing some Kennen Kindred shenanigans. This game featured like nearly 100 kills. And I don't know if we're gonna see this for the rest of the split, man. This has to be one of those uh, craziest games of all time. So,
bot. Like, what in Flame Dog's mind is going on? Uh,
Flame Dog was drafting for this series, correct?
that's what it feels like for this game too. Like the I knew so for I'm gonna give some early insight. I knew about our game one shenanigan plan from Flame. I wasn't prepared for it to do what it did.
Cause this
So
ripple effect across the league.
that's what it feels like.
You're pioneering. You guys are
Well,
pioneers for what this league should be. In fact, I will challenge tonight that the first series of week 5 really should be a randomized 10-man roles, randomize the rosters, switch them up, everybody just play everybody and see what happens. I think that's the new course of action we should take with this league. But
we should just turn it into ARAM Mayhem
ba-
dot league.
basically. But yeah, dude, this game was I don't think I've ever casted a game like this. It was so much fun too. I was actually having a blast. Now there's something I want to talk about at the end, but like the game itself was just a blast to watch. Both teams were just throwing haymakers left and right, just did not care. They're like, you know what? Let's just see who can win one of those sloppy games. Um, and Femboys were able to come out on top, but I do think like moving forward, I don't anticipate them drafting this goofy again. As you see, Stanley's 1v1 topside. Rika also got that first blood, which I was like surprised he was able to pull off against a Talon. But that's
Yeah.
just really, really well played. Good spacing by Rika there. Um, but yeah, this game, you just scroll in. So we've got 10 kills at 4.5 minutes.
11.
11, yes, because you have Talon roaming top getting kills. Like, this is the game. Rika doesn't even use his ult. Like, for like he gets it and he's just holding it. Like look at him. He's pushing when Inferno's just like dead. I don't know if he can help him. He might have been able to. And I remember in the middle of the
That's
cast going like, "What?
spamming.
Why isn't this guy helping him?" It's like, "Where's this guy?" It was a classic game. Is there anything you really sticks out to you though? Like besides funky picks, sure. But is there something that maybe is like something you could actually do that might actually work? For example, like is cannon support maybe really a thing? I don't think it is.
So, so
Um,
I could see Kennen being a support because he does have strong CC that can hit multiple targets and a large AoE CC ability in his ult, kind of like Nico does. So I could see it working. He even went with the rocket belt. So he basically built the Nico build. Um, so I could see it working. Tryndamere Jungle, I know I've played it. That's if I play Tryndamere, that's generally where I'm playing Tryndamere. Um, and even though Flame thinks that Tryndamere, his worst role right now is jungle because of the jungle changes, but like the I don't know, the 97 CS at 23 minutes is still bothering me from Staney.
Yeah,
I,
he decided the lane wasn't important. I don't think he finished his quest yet, and he was in the bot lane. Like he just did not. He did not find anything important except for running around the map killing people at a certain point. He was like the new talent. It was so interesting, but yet so fun. It's what made the game like
it looks like it
interesting.
was fun to watch. I wish I didn't miss it, but
Yeah, I think you guys were playing during this, if I remember correctly.
maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, we're probably gonna touch on your series next.
Oh boy.
Um, but yeah, finishing up with this, I think we can finish up with the series. If you haven't, give this a watch, guys. I honestly think you'll have a lot of fun just watching a fun game. I think that's what this is, and this is to
Yeah.
me the exemplary of what uh, this league was always built around, which was having fun with friends, having fun uh, with the game, and but then the ending was, and I do want to touch on that. I don't want to get like all Mahdi like, but I do think I have to bring this up. It is important. Um, and thank you to Femboys for apologizing. It still means a lot coming from you guys. But I am going to show this real quick because I do think it's important because I don't want to see anybody else in the league do this. Uh, the game was over. I, like and when I say the game was over, like it was clearly over. Um, you see Penguin Jack trying to defend the base. Pretty much, he can't do it. He dies. Okay, there's nothing here stopping them from ending the game. Like, there's no reason why we should not be hitting the Nexus. It's over 20 seconds on death timers. All I ask moving forward from everybody is just be respectful. There is nothing innately in the rules that would say anything against this per se, but we all should have some etiquette. This is a
It
league. This
feels
is
it
yeah.
feels bad.
This is not solo queue. You know, so it's one thing if they were standing next to the Nexus and someone was spawning in 5 seconds and they were messing around. I guess whatever, but like they weren't even doing that. Like we were clearly walking away.
Yeah.
Um, but again, thank you for Femboys for apologizing. I think sometimes we make bad decisions in moments. It happens, but I just don't want to see that from the rest of the league, guys. So let's keep it respectful. Let's keep it clean, and that'll be all in this series. So yeah, but otherwise, check out the game. It was a lot of fun. It was a great watch. So please do give it a chance. But yeah, that'll lead us into your series, buddy.
You sure you want to skip?
Scorch versus Insane Banana Posse. So yeah, you wanna tell us what happened there, my friend?
Well, when we were drafting and we locked in Timo, we're talking about, well, noob, what do you have that's AD? And he's like, nothing. So we're like, huh, well, what do we do? So we locked in Mordekaiser, and we even made a comment about Kale going AD, and yeah, that didn't happen.
He doesn't
uh,
he doesn't have anything else after Wukong Olaf, huh?
Garen would be the only other AD
I mean,
champion I know of that
at
he
that
plays.
point, being wonky, you might as well just play the Karen jungle. Also, why is Scorch not banning? Did something happen?
They had an emergency sub. Yeah.
Oh,
Uh,
okay, okay.
yeah, they had their support was an emergency sub, so I was like Rusty went out of his way to say we lose our ban. I'm like I was gonna tell him not to worry about it, but he said it before I could get to it because I was in a game when he was messaging me. So, but yeah, their support was an emergency sub, like only like 2 hours prior, maybe 2 hours prior to the match. We were notified, so that's why. And then the for game two, the pick five bugged out.
Oh, okay, okay.
That's why it says no pick for that one. They were trying to lock in. There was like 20 seconds left, and suddenly it just went to none, and we were all like, "Huh?" So
Who needs to pick champions? Yeah, this
yeah.
game though, it looks like this game one was a fun game. I mean, it went 36 minutes. Sounds like a scorch sounds like a scorch game for sure. One of those long drawn out games. They are drafting Anivia, so they are cool with going late. Um, but yeah, I
So
mean, what went on here, Mr. Nautilus man?
so Flame didn't play support. bot lane. He was top lane for the first like 5 minutes. He this was the strat. He told us about this just a few hours prior to game time that this is what he was going to do. And it worked out for a while. Like Flame just sitting here soaking XP, doing nothing.
What was the end goal here? Is he ever gonna pop up and do damage to Nessus
Yeah,
or?
I don't know why he got 2 AFK warnings in this game. We got the like not the remake but the AFK forfeit warning that we could do if we wanted twice because of him sitting in bushes.
Oh, Flame! If you maybe played the
Surprised
game.
Ares didn't realize something was going on with the fact that Kale leveled up so late, but he just didn't even like react to it. And here,
Oh my
he pops
goodness!
out and down goes Rusty, and it just created so much panic because Rusty kept going top for a while to try to deal with this
Oh
that it
my
just kind of let
god!
Thresh all day do his thing, and it got even worse because he was 1v2ing bot lane.
This
The biggest
is.
problem was that Bananasaur, no CLT, I'm calling you out. Bananasaur is a better Nivea player than you. Um,
Oh wow,
I
that's
have
crazy.
never seen a Nivea player absolutely rock my shit when I'm playing Nautilus mid into it, like Bananasaur did. He every single time he was able to stun me, wall me every single time he did anything, it worked. And because I'd never had Nivea capable of doing that in the past, I just kind of kept falling for it because I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here because I'm not a mid laner. So like I was trying to figure it out, but I couldn't. So I slowly fell behind. Like I can't like at this point in the game, I'm keeping up in CS, but I've recalled. I bought my tier. He hasn't even used a pot yet and hasn't gone back. Like I'm just sitting here like giving him gold because he has first strike because I can't do anything.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy. I can't
it
believe that just the thought of this whole game is so funny, and the fact that it was working like makes it even funnier. Um, I'm surprised you guys don't find a way to just get the win off this wonkiness. To be honest.
uh the game just kind of like fell apart on us at like 20 minutes. It just started spiraling. Like yeah, getting the a 2-for-1 bot lane, like yeah, it's not the worst thing, but like that's basically how the game just went for the rest of the game. It just kept we would lose a fight, but not by much, and we'd lose a fight, not by much, and the game ended. So it's
Then
just
the game ended.
we lost the fight, and the game like it just like I said, like Threshold Day, he like got solo kills bot lane in the 1v2 multiple times. It just but I couldn't do anything. I'm down 20 CS before 10 minutes, and I'm like, man, I'm CSing fine, but not well enough.
Yeah, this has got to be a game you guys look back on and feel like bad because like you guys obviously sitting with your one win down there as well. Yeah, the difference between place and eighth place right now is one win. Now of course you have the tiebreaker over VIP at the moment, but like VIP brings in the new roster or whatever happens, they get a couple wins and all of a sudden like what if this is your anchor series? Y'all look back at this like dang we missed a chance at something. You're just like you had a shot.
Look
You
what
had a
Flame
shot.
just did to Sivir. He got the Dark Harvest proc as she got to tower. She just came back to lane and she's recalling because she's almost dead. Like I don't. I we're up 7-3.
Yeah, gold is still pretty tight, but yeah, I mean that's pretty meaningful. And you guys have like a pretty good scaling. Like I do think it's a little hard because
We don't have it.
Anivia probably is the hardest champ to deal with. But if theoretically if Mordekaiser ever like gets onto her, like gets her into the death realm, like there can be
I don't think
potential
he ulted
there.
her a single time. He might have, but I don't think he did.
I would say that would be my target.
Like, I didn't realize how long it took him to do something there.
No, he's got to be patient. He knows this. He knows if he goes too hard, they don't kill. Which they don't kill anyways because Ares has flash.
But he almost killed Ace on the tail, like before he even really started helping.
Yeah, he's like, no need to be proactive. I'm just a support teamo. Oh man, I can't, dude. You guys are the funniest team in the league, man.
I got nothing, man.
You guys are hooting in a good way, man. It's all in a good way. You know that.
It's
The un,
it's a mess.
the unpredictability of IBP. What Rexy said was you guys are just sandbagging the regular season, and then you guys are gonna start trying for real and just destroy everybody come playoffs. And I was like, yeah, man, that's what Ward told me the plan is, 100%.
Dude, I was right here. I was so sure I was out, and then Aries flashed. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
I was out if he didn't flash. Like I played that so well to get out, and it
Uh,
didn't matter.
it's okay, but yeah, I mean the game's tight. Like even going into 20 minutes, there's only 2K gold lead for them, and you guys obviously had the gold lead at one point. So I get what you're saying. You have a fight, and then okay, you have a fight, and then it kind of it goes slightly in their advantage, and they just start slowly getting these advantages over time. And then obviously, like I said, of course, I think being able to get on Nivea is probably the hardest thing for you guys this game. You do have like the Nautilus pick, which I do think kind of does that, but realistically, she can zone most of your team pretty well. So
And she absolutely walled. There was one time I got a beautiful hook, and as I'm going in, she walls, and I face plant into the wall. I'm like, oh, this play's over. I had to walk away
this is
because
a
I
this is a wall.
couldn't do anything.
Yeah. So you want to tell me what was the final nail in the coffin there, or what kind of happened to get us to the point we got to that 36 minute game ending?
When Flame noticed that Ace didn't build AD Kale, and we realized that we had no damage for towers, and again, we just kind of lost a fight, like right here. Like, the Baron fight, Flame, he's low already. I get nuked. Like I'm only 2 items at 25 minutes on Nautilus. Like I could play the game, and they just kind of like I don't know if I respawn again, but like I just kind of
You feel,
die.
you feel useless as the Nautilus mid. Who would have thunk it, but
Hey, I'd had a great game when I played mid lane as my main role on Nautilus mid into CLT.
I believe you in that one. I will say great Baron call though.
Yeah,
So maybe committing for the fight afterward might be a little risky, but I mean so far you guys look like you're doing fine.
yeah.
I mean I think the AP KO can be fine because she is going on hits. I don't really see a big issue with it. I'm actually surprised even with the Baron like you guys couldn't push harder down mid. I mean I guess there's the bird. I think you'd have to kill the bird to maybe have a chance
Yeah.
at winning this game.
I didn't realize we didn't have minions. That's why I walked up and just took 3 turret shots for no reason.
Yeah, it happens. Yeah, I think if the bird is dead, I think this game is over. Actually, that's like
Oh yeah,
like
I don't
huge.
I don't think we killed Bananasaur again after that. No, Bananasaur didn't die after his second death. Like so we couldn't take the towers. We had no wave. Yeah, I think we get tower and here, but like then what? He's gonna be full mana. Okay, just tower. I could.
Yeah.
It's been a long week,
No,
but
you're good. You're good. Yeah, I think if you guys are able to break it open and get that inhibitor and I think like I said if you kill the Anivia, you guys have a chance at ending the game there. That's crazy. Like that was a knife's edge type of play because that's a beautiful fight by you guys. You can
Yeah.
clearly say like the draft, as funny as it is, and as funny as the stuff was early game, like you guys had a plan, and I think you executed it well. I don't think anything you guys are doing here is like bad. Um, it just doesn't
Rusty
seem to go in
did
your favor.
here. He just like absolutely demolished us. He just kind of almost won this fight solo. It felt like, um, even though yeah, he's out when he's dead again, but like getting the backline damage and CC off like he did,
Yeah, it's pretty
he ends
huge.
up with 10 kills
Yeah,
after starting the game 0-2. He ends up with 10 kills.
yeah, we'll watch the soul fight because I think this is probably the biggest part of the
I
game.
think that
Oh wow, that was actually really well played there by Rusty. Um,
I had to flash out, and I still almost died with the kill ult too. Like before the fight even really starts.
yeah, and unfortunately now you got no jungler, so you guys have to take the fight to even have a chance. But you're in between a rock and a hard place at this point. Again, like not being able to get on the Nevia was the biggest difference.
I couldn't
So
get through the wall. Like she placed that wall and it covered the entire river.
yeah,
And I die on the back line.
what a
And
what a what a game though. I mean, it's a close game all the way through, 68k to 67. The soul seems to be what's the final nail in the coffin, off of an ace. They probably get Baron buff after this, I assume, right? Yeah, they just go Baron,
yeah,
and you guys have no way to contest the Baron. So yeah, I mean, hats off to the Scorch to get the victory, but I think you guys played an excellent game. Like when you said you didn't want to talk about it, I thought something really bad happened. I see nothing bad happening
no,
here. I see a great game by two teams.
it just
One
felt
team
bad.
with an off meta idea that just didn't end up working in the end, but
Yeah,
the thoughts were there, the idea was there, and it was close. Maybe just ban the bird. I don't know.
yeah,
But let's jump into game two, War. Let's get into game two. Um, so it looks like your team comp is a little more kind of normal, but then never mind, it's really not that normal because it's like four. It's basically five melee champions into Hwei,
yeah,
Jinx, Soraka.
yeah. The Olaf was picked as a flex, but it was as soon as it was picked, we were like, it's probably going mid lane. It's like I'm blind picking Olaf mid. Oh, oh no. I pick him as a counter pick mid lane, but I'm not blind.
Yeah.
Um, so it was once we locked that in, they locked in Hui, and they're like, "Hey, noob, what do you want? Do you want Olaf or Wukong?" He's like, I'd rather Wukong." So we got the Wukong, but then banning the Urgot, I was like, "They really think I'm gonna play Urgot mid here?"
Well, I mean, you haven't been afraid to play it any other place, so yeah.
Hey, I haven't played it technically support
Okay,
except
well,
with the Senna.
I, okay, there it was. It was with the Senna. I'm sure at some point I'll see it support, man. I already know it's gonna come out from knowing you.
I mean, I play Olaf support, so
Yes, you played Olaf support. See, I know some goofy shenanigans will come from you. Um, but yeah, this draft, I think, in comparison to game one draft, definitely isn't as good. Um, I don't. I'm sure you've got other things hidden in the pool somewhere you could pull out. I mean, I feel like sometimes you don't give yourself enough credit, but I think you could play some of these like AP champions. I think I could see you being able to pull them off. You know.
I mean, I do play some. It's just a matter of will Flame pick them, and that's not a knock on Flame. It's just he'd rather me be on something that he's more comfortable me being on.
Hmm.
So that's why I played the Nautilus mid. I played Olaf mid rather than playing like Rumble or Galio or Cho'Gath. I do play those champions. It's just not as much. So I play Olaf. It's my favorite champion. Like
Right.
I'm happy to play him. It's just a matter of I don't like the idea of blind picking Olaf because he's so easy to counter, especially if you can just pick something that's got dashes or like a lot of movement speed or like the ability to jump a wall. And Olaf is kind of like shrugging his shoulders at you. So like the J4 being picked right after, it's like, oh, when they said I'm taking it, I was like, I don't get to play the game, do I?
Yeah, not really.
Because and I really didn't because Rusty came mid quite a bit to. kill me like throughout the entire game. Like I was keeping up in CS. Like right now, I'm only down by about 6, 5, 6, and so it wasn't that bad. But then give it a few minutes, and Rusty's come mid like 3 times, 3 more times. And it's like, oh, I'm dead again. So,
Indeed, it'd be like that. Well, I mean, with all that being said, I mean, you guys certainly were giving your best shot in this game as well. Um, kind of give me what do you when you look at this game, kind of like the other game, what's kind of the point that you can remember that really was the downfall of this game for you guys? What is the breaking
oh,
point? And when Scorch popped off
I
with
mean,
their sub support CSM.
Boonstra, like he was just he just popped off. Like he 13-0-6 end scoreline. Like he just absolutely took
Yeah,
over.
I'm gonna check this real quick, but I'm pretty sure Jinx hasn't died this split. hold on,
Really?
hold on. Jinx right here. Yeah, I'm just looking at 33 0 and 23. Yep. Anyways, doesn't make any
Crap.
doesn't make any sense by the
That is
way.
insane.
3 games, 3 games. Um,
Still,
yeah. I mean, she's being picked later in series, which makes sense. That's where she generally should be picked. I don't think it's bad to prio her, even in like a game 1, game 2. I think she's really strong right now. Crit based AD carries are in a great spot. She's obviously one of those. She's got hard scaling, one of the highest ranges in the game. Generally going to be good into a lot of what is currently meta. The stuff she struggles against, there's currently like enchanters that really don't mind dealing with those types of engaged champions to make their lives a little harder. So I think Jinx is in a great spot.
oh yeah,
Absolutely great spot. Something I don't see a lot of, and I don't know how good of but it is another enchanter, is the Soraka. But, I mean, again, you guys are full melee comp. If you guys get on top of Raka, she's dead. But if you can't get near her, like, you're not playing the game. You've got
yeah.
J4 for disengage, and you've got, which is so funny to say, but in this game, J4 can certainly play that role. And you got Hwei. Like, the only person getting through Hwei is you when you click your R. So, it's it's a really nice draft, I think, out of Scorch to just make
Oh
sure whatever your shenanigan play is going to be, that they're going to scale nicely into this game, and then it's going to be impossible for you guys to do anything.
yeah. I feel game one, like our draft was probably even, but game two, it felt like we were outdrafted. Like you said, we have no range except for a Swain. So, and right here, I'm dead. Like, what am I supposed to do? I don't have all. I don't have flash.
You're
Uh,
Olaf. You're Olaf. You
I'm a
reset.
lot without flash or alt and J4 alts. Like, I don't play the game. So if I feel like we were just outdrafted pretty hard overall for game two. Um like they had a clear comp and we had cheese
Yeah, they had a clear
with
identity, and your guys' identity was it existed. It was run our
yeah,
faces at them and pray, but it
yeah.
existed and it was real. I mean, if your comp gets off the ground, I mean, you guys already done this once, where you're playing Olaf, 80 carry. Like you can certainly make this work, this comp, but. I
Well,
do think you guys need a lead that's meaningful
the
early on in
big
the game.
difference with that was Noob was playing Olaf. He's better at Olaf than I am by far. As much as I don't want to admit that Noob's better than me.
Well, then what is Flame doing? You need to tell Flame from now on, I'm doing the draft. I'm the captain now, is what you tell him.
I mean, I am the captain, but
Okay,
he's the
then.
shot caller. So I let him draft because he's better at all of that than I am.
the
I'm just the one that put the team together.
the mind of a guy with serious issues is Flame. That's what I'm seeing. He's like, let me draft the most wonkiest comp I can. Oh, by the way, I'm playing Rek'Sai support. This guy,
That
man.
was actually my idea.
Oh
The
my
Rex
goodness.
Sexton was my idea.
You're the culprit.
It
Blame
gave him an excuse
blame
to
more.
play Rek'Sai.
True. He needed to get that Rek'Sai game in for the season. But all right, man. If you got nothing else to say about this game, I will I'll quickly show
All
the
I got
ending.
is that Boonstra absolutely like proved he just outclassed us that game, at least in this series. Like he was. he played so well the entire
Does he get a
series.
penta?
I don't
Hold on, let
think
me
so.
let me watch this from the beginning here, because I just saw a quadra kill pop up on my screen. Where is the? I don't think we've had a penta this split. Like I don't remember a single one, which is crazy. We had a lot last split in comparison. So, and the Soraka heals like you cannot die, Boonstra. Must keep you alive.
Yeah,
There's
I was dead when the fight broke out,
that's crazy. You came
and
back.
I had to go back and deal with Zahan. So
You should have stayed for the penta, man. What a you were not a goat for this. How does he not get the penta? Like what?
he might. I don't remember.
All right, we're watching it. We're gonna no, because he only finished with 13 kills, right? What a
Yeah,
shame. What a shame. Somebody KS this or what? Or you just ran back to the fountain? You ran back to the fountain.
I lived. That was I kind of lived, and
That
then I died.
yeah, you died this hand. Oh wait, KS confirmed. Confirmed. KS confirmed. Where's Boonstra's penta? All right, man. Well, let's get into the last series of the week, and this is the one that did not get streamed, and it was my series, so I do have all the details for you guys. Um, First off, hats off to Stun Gaming Incarnate. I think they played one hell of a series. Um, when I talked about it when I was watching it back, we were actually in both games in like game two. We knew we were in the game. You could feel it. Game one though kind of fell off. I could not play the game. Um, that Wukong Xin Zhao matchup is definitely favored on who kind of gets ahead, and then after that it gets really hard because anytime you want to engage, and so I was just like, here, come engage, buddy. I'm gonna kick you back out. I'm gonna hit you with the crescent guard and defend my team, and then the Wukong Cyclone has been negated. But if you're ahead enough, like usually, you're okay. But I never got a meaningful lead. Every play that I tried just unfortunately did not come to fruition. I will give team credit. I think they played pretty well. You know, on the rest of the map for the most part, but we just never found a meaningful enough advantage while Stun Gaming Incarnate was able to do so. Uh, you know, just pointing it out, like looking at them, like Winnipeg had himself a nice game, 5-1-12. Lysander and Doku came in as a sub. Really nice game from both of them. And Barbecue was chilling, playing the Seraphine, has some nice alts. Um, but you look on the bottom side of the map, I do think Mono and Fid played really, really good to get advantages. On the bottom side of the map, punishing the Seraphine Ash early enough. Um, the big problem I had when I watched over the game and when I kind of dove into it myself was just like I realized I don't really have anything that makes my champion like super strong, and Jinzao did, and I'm referring to the Enchanter. Like I love Fitzmorg, and I think he's a fantastic Morgana player. There's no question, no doubt in my mind. But I think looking back on this, I think I would have loved to go towards the Lulu over the Morgana or something along those lines. Um, Not saying that I played a good game or anything like that, and that just like therefore we pick the champion is gonna make the game a whole different. If I no like there were some just plays that didn't go our way, but I would have to think there's a way back into the game that might be a little better. Um, for me, kind of make up for the fact that I'm behind in gold and whatnot. Um, but yeah, I mean every like little play I attempted, like you'll see coming up here in a second. Tried to make a play here on mid. There was no flash on the Victor, but he was pretty tanky early on. He had a really nice build here, going for HP. The going the rod build. So he was not one shottable by any means. We weren't able to do much. I think if we had maybe burned the bone plating beforehand, he gets a little lower at least. But nice Ash arrow from downtown. Really, really nice, disengage there from one attack. And from that point on, like they were just able to establish like tempo for the game, and we were just kind of playing back foot. Like I said, we found some nice things, but we were never able to get anything meaningful. They were to stack Drakes. It was really hard to contest Drakes. Um, so for me, this game one just came down to effectively like I think we messed up a little bit in draft. I think if I'm gonna go Wukong, we should draft an Enchanter. If not, I'm just gonna go something else entirely. Um, so looking back, I definitely think that was the biggest thing to start the game. It's just you're putting yourself at a slight disadvantage if things don't go well for certain champions. So hats off to Stun though. I think they played really good. There's some there's some fights that are extremely close. Like this one, for example. If you wanna, I can scroll back a little bit. We we start off. We went in with the woo. Didn't work out, of course. Like I said, how the nature of it. I nearly am able to get out of here, but a nice little play here by Jacob. Luckily, my team is doing pretty well in the fight, but they're just not able to stick to anybody else once the fight kind of is over. And you're not chasing this victor. But, like, hey, we technically we won the fight. We got some gold onto our carries. Um, but I'm not really reaping any of the benefits. I'm my champion, so the more Wukong falls behind, I think you're well aware of this too. It just
Yep.
becomes harder and harder for my
Yep.
champion to be a champion. So, um, you know, it was
Yeah.
definitely
Someone who plays juggernauts, I know what it's like when your champion just kind of does nothing from a deficit.
yeah,
Um, and I love Wukong. Wukong's only the second champion I've ever had a pentakill on, and so he was the original main for me. Um, so I know the champion well. I'm just like I know how bad he is when he's behind, and how hard it is to get back into the game.
yeah, it definitely is. When I would look back at it, I don't think this game and this series didn't live up to the hype. I wish it was streamed. I think it would have been a fun watch, like overall for the viewers, because I think it was two solid teams going at it. Like I don't, again, like I felt like the game was in such a worse spot than it was. It's just because I was so far behind. But we
Yep.
were, I mean, I think if you get to the 20-minute mark, the game is still like winnable for us if we just could find the right type of play. Um, the gold lead was even. Just the problem was the Drakes. Like they were Drakes. In fact, we were technically up gold. I like it's technically this play we got punished on was a bit of a mistake here. So and I think this was the what kind of broke the game. We used the Herald. We crashed. We busted open bot, which was fine, but Zemma would just TP'd back, and bot lane started walking over. So I started walking over with them to like be with them, but that was a mistake, right? We get ultra punished. We should have taken the safe way if we're gonna try to meet up with Zemma, and we didn't, and then we just pretty much get clean wiped. Um,
But what makes that
so
fight even worse was that Fidsick put his spell shield on you, and you flashed away from the Ash ult,
yeah, it was
um,
unfortunate.
causing Mono to, or I think it was Mono that got hit by it. Either Mono or Fidsick got hit by the Ash ult because of it. So it makes it even more unfortunate
Yeah.
that how that fight went for you guys.
Yeah, I think I was just trying to. I mean, at that point, I'm just trying to get away from the Jin generally because, like, I know we're not gonna win the fight. Trying not to take too much damage. But yeah, it ended up backfiring with the black shield on me. That was probably the point though where the game kind of broke a bit. Like we're still kind of technically up and we're in an okay spot, but like it ruined our tempo even more. And now I'm even further behind. Everything was just going so south for me, man. Like I don't know. Um, it was a bit of a jungle game, man. Winnipeg just outplayed me this game. I had no answer. Um, and it happens. I know that this game isn't like define everything. You know, you have those games. I know I talked to Rexy about their loss too. Like, you just kind of go. You can hang with the team. You know what you're capable of. But what do we can we do to try to improve, right? And I think that's kind of the goal. Um, moving forward. But I'm glad we got the loss out of the way. Like I think it's always important to take a loss. I just disagree with anyone that thinks that losses are bad. I think losses are actually good because they help to continue to build mental and help to improve because you can see what the faults are. Um, so I'm able to personally reflect and um, just like I said, things just they did not go the monkey's way this time. Maybe there'll be a next time, but I hopefully we get to play again. But yeah, this game one, it was definitely a tightly contested series. And this game one was it. But once they got that lead, man, you kind of talk about that, like how the game opens up. We were
Yeah.
38-38 with just him having the Drake lead, which was important. Like that's the biggest part of the game. Them three Drakes up to none. But like we have one fight and the game just ends. It's like right after Baron because we get caught topside. We take a fight and then the game is just over. It was like they got Baron buff. If we mess anything up, it's just GG, and we did, and they just said, okay, well we're just gonna walk at your base at this point because we can, because you're all dead.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's this game. I don't know if you got any other takes or if you want me to move on to game two.
I think you covered pretty much everything. Like the at this point, there's the first kill of the. I would assume this is the last fight,
Yeah,
um, because it ends up 20-11. And they've already that's three. There's the one back, but there you go down, and there goes mono right there, and game just like you said just ends out of nowhere almost because one game breaking play and then one fight and it ends. It's crazy how out of nowhere it could feel for this season for the games to just be over.
yeah,
Um, like I've been playing since season four, and I don't remember ever a season feeling like this where the game just ends like it does now. So
yeah. We gave it our best effort in this game. But yeah, so jumping into game two though, on the point of ending, game two, we had the game in our hands. Like we had a lot of advantages. There were some hiccups in drafts. We ended up having to deal with LeBlanc, which I don't think our draft really wants to deal with. But overall, I think we drafted well and the comp works well. We have a nice idea and identity of what we're going to do. We are able to get great advantages early. I was able to punish a lot of the flashless members of Stun Incarnate when they had no flashes. I mean, it's tons of immobility, right? The only mobile champion here is LeBlanc. Um, but we made a costly error in this game. Just one small costly error, and then slowly but surely the game just completely flipped on its head. Um, but yeah, early game, man, like early game felt pretty good. Lysander was really really good on this LeBlanc. Um, it was tough for someone to play, but not impossible. I know the matchup isn't great, but he played it well enough, especially early mid game. And it wasn't until she got super ahead off of what we'll kind of touch on here in a second that really caused that to break open. Top side of the map, Vic was struggling a little bit, made a couple errors, but he was still really strong on this Renekton. And we were going in the right direction. We were getting the Drakes, we were getting the tempo, we were getting that setup. Uh, and like I said, it just kind of fell apart a bit, which I'll show you guys the play because the earlier to mid part of this game where we had our advantages, it was still a very tightly contested game. Like Incarnate wasn't doing anything crazy to put themselves where they were. We were just doing a good job at punishing things. Um, like even
yeah,
here, real quick.
there hasn't been a kill in almost 10 minutes at
Yeah,
this point.
yeah. So the discipline from both teams, I think in both games, was actually pretty good. Like I think nobody was really doing any like hard inting type plays. Um, But yeah, I mean here like this play, we knew that there was no flash on the Sivir, so when she came back, we just said we'll just leave the we'll leave the poor Milio alone, which also didn't have flash because we didn't burst him down. Which is a really nice roam here by uh, Lysander, which
Yeah,
could have been a lot worse and then ended up being. Fid did a really really good job here of tagging it out, and then we just were able to take care of that real quick. But like we're doing the stuff we need. You see our goal lead now starting to grow a bit, but yeah, it was a very very slow paced game. We obviously have the scaling, so we like that. We want to scale into this game, but I'll go to the play that really changed the complexity of this game because at where does it happen? It's like around 20 minutes, I want to say. I think it was my first death. Like right after that really nice play we just had there. Um, go for a bit of a bot play, and it really just ended up being a comms thing, unfortunately. I want to punish side lane here a bit, which I'm able to do. Like Lysander gets punished on this LeBlanc. Um, get her with a nice knockup. Basically, by myself, knock her into clone nearly, but we go a little further than we probably needed to. I definitely tried to call it out as well, but it just didn't work out. Um, in hindsight, maybe the one thing I could have done better is just play on top of the turret. We did kind of talk about that a bit as well, but it just it trickled effect. We had a lead. We had about a 2K gold lead, almost 3K, and all of a sudden it just disappears in the blink of an eye. And then from this point on, now LeBlanc's able to get some gold, able to get back in the game, and not that she was not in the game, but like truly get back into the game and be able to do what she wants. It,
Right.
it was like our comp just doesn't want to see that. It does not, and we just can never get back in. And next thing you know, it's not really a blink and the game's over, but it's just like a blink and like you've lost all tempo, you've lost all advantages. Um, we tried to make plays, and every play after that, we were just punished for it, no matter how hard we tried. Um, and fights were really close. Every fight was super super close. Nothing was like, oh, we're getting completely clapped on the plays. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much the series. And like I said, hats off to Sun Gaming Incarnate. I think if you are a fan of like slow paced gameplay, like someone LCK, you'll like this series, like old LCK, because that's what this kind of felt like. It wasn't a lot of kills. It wasn't like a barn burner in that aspect, but it was good macro, good gameplay, and hats off to, like I said, to my entire team. They played the best they could, and I feel like I let them down in game one, and um, game two is just unfortunate situation. But we learn from it. We snap back and get ready for actually tonight. So if you're watching this, either I've already played my series against Hidden Leaf, or we're getting ready to play because hopefully this will come out before that series gets started. So any closing words on the series from you, my
Yeah,
friend?
I mean, it like you said, it just kind of like you guys were doing well, and then the bot play, and you guys just kind of like never reconnected. Um, because after that bot play, you guys got one more kill, and that was it. Yeah, it took them a while to end it, but it just looks like they just it was a slow bleed that you just couldn't stop, kind of thing, is what it looks like from. Obviously, the match wasn't cast, partially my fault. Um,
Nah, you're good,
but
man. You're good.
like it just the game just kind of like ended without feeling like it was over, is based on what I'm looking at. Um, but at the same time, though, I'm going to assume that they get a 5-0 to end the game right about now, would be
Yeah.
my guess. Yeah. Um,
Didn't even realize that Mono wasn't there for the play either, which was kind of unfortunate. Would have made a bit of a difference. But
oh, yeah.
yeah, I watched it back and go like, wait, Mono wasn't there? I thought Mono was there, and I realized he wasn't. So
Orton hasn't even ulted at this point either. Jesus.
yeah,
Model got deleted.
yeah, the LeBlanc man, the LeBlanc was something.
Yeah.
So yeah, we did our best. I look back and I definitely want to have another shot at them, and I think we will get another shot at them. Of course, we got other teams in front of us that we have to beat to get there, but I do feel like we will get one more opportunity at this Stun team, and um, I do feel confident we can certainly beat them. But
Oh, yeah.
on this day, that was not the case, and so yeah, all
And
respects to
losing is
Incarnate.
good to reset mental.
Oh
So
yeah,
it's not the worst thing to lose one here and there. It just matters that you gotta win when it matters. So like when you get to playoffs, that's when it's gonna matter the most.
yeah,
So
100%. So with that said, man, we could do the last segment of the episode. Do the power rankings real quick, and we can get on out of here. I think that'll be a sweet deal. Um, so yeah, let's go ahead and shall we reveal these? War.
let's go.
Let's go. So to no surprise, guys, nothing has changed towards the bottom. This split has been the easiest to not have to worry about switching up the power rankings too much. There's only a bit of movement at the top. So yeah, coming in at the 10, it's going to be Notorious Thieving Raccoons. Coming in at the 9, Vancouver Impact Challengers, and coming in at 8 is Insane Banana Posse. Um, you guys don't move. You guys have the series win over Vancouver, so no matter how good Vancouver plays in losses, they will not be jumping over you unless they get a victory, in my opinion. So you guys are holding that number 8 spot. And funny enough, I think that's where you guys are at the standings, which we'll check those after the end of the power rankings, but pretty sure the power rankings are as similar to the standings than they've ever been, which is also not something I'm known for. It's just kind of playing out that way this split. Yeah. Any opinions on that stuff there, War?
So, like we said, VIP they've played well. They're just not winning the games. And the games that I've seen of the notorious Thieving Raccoons, they've been rough. And it doesn't feel like they're as close to winning games as VIP is. So, and like you said, with us having the win over Vancouver, us being above makes sense. And yeah, we haven't looked as good overall, but again, we won the matchup. So I think the bottom three make perfect sense for me. Um, as much as I feel like we're pretty bad right now.
Stop
But
it. Stop it.
uh, well, I mean, it's true. Like the games that we've lost have been bad.
I don't know,
Um,
man. We just went over your series, and I think your game against Scorch, that game one specifically, like you
game
guys
one
looked
was,
good. Come on, man. You gotta cut yourself
but
some slack.
game two did not look good.
Well, game two
It,
is draft dependent. It's
yeah,
whatever.
oh yeah, but it's true. Like our games haven't looked as good as Vancouver's outside of our matchup against them. In my opinion, like we've shown glimpses of who we are and what we're capable of, but Vancouver is consistently showing that they're a capable team, just unable to finish the games out.
Yep.
So
No, I got you. All right. Well, we can jump into there's more power rankings here. Yeah. So the next three again, no movement. I don't know if there's surprise on that, but yeah. I did consider actually moving Mapo go up a bit, but I was like, nah, hold off. They only got one series win. It's just that it was against Mythos. So
yeah,
instead of giving Mapago like the complete like let me push them really high up. I instead decided, at least for this week, and we'll see what happens next week, that they will hover here right now in the same location at the number 7th spot. Scorch being number 6 and Femboys being number 5. Um, I think Femboys just like Scorch has looked good, but they've also struggled in games that I think they should probably win a lot cleaner. Femboys, yeah, they've lost two series and they've only won two, so technically Scorch have the higher record. But I trust Femboys a little more at the moment than I do Scorch. But I do think Scorch has a ceiling that's much higher than um, like the lower end of this team's for sure. So I expect them to still probably be a playoff team. I really do. I think the question is going to come down to like, will Mapogo continue to win? I really think they will, but I'll hold my judgment until after week
yeah.
5 and see if they continue the trend because that is an impressive win nonetheless for them and whatnot. But I did not feel in good conscience I could still just move them up and let it play out a little more. Do you think is anything wrong with this part of the power rankings
I
there,
think
War?
I 100% agree with this order as well. Femboys has looked great in a lot of their games. Even their losses, they don't look bad.
Well,
Scorch,
well,
well,
there's
you know what?
there's a series against Mythos, I think it was, if I remember correctly. But yes, I
But
think overall they've looked good.
like you said, that's Mythos. Like they have looked like probably the best team in the league, despite losing this week to Mapago. But Mapago looked so good in their two wins against them. Um, and the game that they lost was a bit rough, but Mapago is a lot better than what their record says. They only have one match win, but they have 5 game wins.
Yeah,
Like that means that they're going to 3 games every week, so they're not just losing. Like us, Vancouver, uh, Notorious, like we're all losing. They're not losing matches as like straight up. They're competing in every single match. Um, so Mapago looks great despite their record. Scorch, yeah, they're 3-1. They're doing well. They're good. They're a strong team, but Femboys overall has looked just to me has looked better despite getting that one match where they got slapped
Yeah,
for lack of a better term.
yeah,
Um,
100%.
so
I think the tests are going to come in, and I think that's another reason why I was hesitant to even move my team up last week because I wanted to see more tests come in. I think we actually passed the test, in my opinion. We didn't win, but passing the test isn't always winning, and that's why Mapago. It's you could move them up. I think you could, um, but I'm going to stand on this for now because though they've won a lot of games, they still have lost these series, and it still does matter. So let's see what Mapago does coming up. Who do they play this week? We'll check the schedules real quick. They have and
Notorious.
Notorious, which they should probably win. I would be surprised if they didn't. But I think week
Yeah.
6 will be interesting because they're against you guys. You guys are also a very interesting team. Like Bapago hasn't shown a clear indication that they're just gonna roll in and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna take care of this team." They've had an interesting season, so I'd like to see a little more from them. Give them a couple more weeks, and then we'll see how it shapes up. Um, but yeah, let's go ahead and go back to power rankings for now. And we also got to give Scorch some time.
Yeah.
So
I think Scorch will hit their stride here soon. Like yeah, they're 3-1, which is crazy to say that they
yeah.
haven't hit their stride. I
Also,
think they'll.
also the one thing I also forgot, Scorch did beat Mapago too, and that think should still matter. Regardless how
Yeah.
Mapago is kind of scaling upward, that again should matter. Scorch has a meaningful win on the season, so in my opinion, because that's a team that still is like in the thick of it, regardless.
Yeah.
So let's jump into the next three. Actually, we'll just show the last four. Screw it. But yeah, congratulations, Incarnate. I think I had them one at some point in the season. I don't remember, but you're back on top. You're now the number one team. Things are all as they should be.
Undefeated. Yeah.
Yes, undefeated. The only undefeated team. So they moved up 2 spots to the 1 spot. Mythos, they technically lost to an 0-3 team, but it's like they still lost to a good team. I was questioning if I should put them lower, but I'm gonna hold my regards. First off, they haven't played Small Brains, but Small Brains did also just lose, and again, which was a close series, but again, it's all a conversational piece. Um, I'm gonna leave them at 2 for now. Hidden Leaf did lose to Mythos during the season already, so there's that. But Hidden Leaf played really good against Mythos, so I think it's like very interesting. I think the Small Brain No Mechanics Hidden Leaf matchup is going to show us a lot, and that's specifically tonight. We're really going to see like what are those two teams made of because those teams have shown an ability to beat either stun team so far. Now again, Small Brains hasn't played Mythos, but the point is neither of them have beat a stun team, and both have lost to a stun team. I don't remember if Hidden Leaf has played both of them yet. I can't recall. I could check here in a second, but
Um,
that's kind of where I'm feeling like the top four. I think those other three could also squeeze their way in as the season progresses. That's what's going to get interesting now, as some of these teams are going to get more and more tests. But this is a big test for Hidden Leaf and Small Brains. Who of them is going to say, hey, we belong still in this top three conversation? And who of them is going to be like maybe backing off a little bit and having to earn back that right? That's going to be, I think, the conversational piece for week 5. And week 5 is it's midway of the season. A lot can play out. So we'll get a lot of indicators from this week, though.
yeah. So Hidden Leaf has only played against Mythos. They play. Just saw it. Next week they play against Incarnate.
Okay.
So in week 6, so they'll have the matchup against the current 1 and 2 in power rankings by the end of next week. It will really have a good testament to them as well as Stun Gaming Incarnate, which I would guess is based on the name would be the lower ranked team or the lower like tier team. Again, like this is going based off of name. Um, because I know that they're part of a competitive organization. So, um, but they've looked good. Like both teams have looked great, but Incarnate being undefeated still at this point is a testament to them.
Yeah.
Um, Again, we've talked about the Mapago Mythos matchup, and it was a banger series. I wish I had actually seen it live. I might have to go back and watch it just to watch it. But yeah, I think Incarnate deserves that number one spot. I think Hidden Leaf being in four is fine. I'd say either three or four. And again, Mythos, Small Brains, and Hidden Leaf, you could shuffle any of those three, and I think I would be fine with it. I think the three of them are two A, B, and C, not second, third, and fourth seed or in the power rankings. Personally, I think that you could literally be like two A, two B, two C, and they'd all be like a fair placement. Um, but again, like you shuffle them and they'd be all perfectly even, my opinion.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, like I said, I think this pretty much shapes out for exactly almost standings. We'll peek at standings real quick. I think Femboys might be the only one that's technically out of place when it comes to standings. Um,
You are correct. Yes.
yeah, which is so funny. I'm not doing that because this is what the standings. I swear, guys. I swear. These are my actual thoughts. But it's just funny. I just realized it played out exactly like this. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting. This week is going to show us a lot. I could even make arguments that if either Small Brains or Hidden Leaf loses, like, let's say if Hidden Leaf loses, I might still be keeping them at four, depending on almost regardless of what happens for the rest of the week. Just because I don't think Hidden Leaf would be like automatically just like, oh, knock them down because they've looked so great. Small Brain loses, I think I just have to move Hidden Leaf up, and then we'll see what like the rest looks like. But there is a real conversation there that like at the end of the day, this is like the top of this bracket right now is looking like your 4 to 5 teams that are more likely going to be in playoffs no matter what. I say 4 or 5 because technically the fifth seed would have to play play-ins. Um, but yeah, they're all kind of fighting for that top location. Um, the one that will stick out the most for me right now will be the Scorch and Mapago because they're the most intriguing to me. I think um, they're going to show a lot as these weeks progress. But it's been a fun split, man, and I've been happy with how it's gone so far. And I anticipate that the rest of the season is going to give us more really fun games and interesting drafts from you guys.
Yeah, I hope the season keeps going. Obviously, I would like to see the lower standings teams higher, mine especially, but to make it a competitive playoff run.
Yeah,
It's still going to be competitive playoff run no matter what, but I would like to be able to see more opportunities for tiebreakers going into playoffs. So
yeah, and just for everyone's sake of stuff, tiebreakers, this split they're going to be just based off of. There's not going to be any tiebreakers played, but there will be things that can break them. For example, head to head would be the first thing. The second thing, if there's a multi-way tie, would be game record. Um, so there's multiple things that can kind of break that up, uh, which realistically all that should kind of play out. Like I don't imagine us getting to the lower part of the tiebreakers. Y'all can check that if you want to see the full tie-breaking break, but that's kind of how that works. So with that said, man, you have any more things to say before I head off here? It's been a solid 2 hour episode, so pretty much right on key.
I think we're good.
All right. Well, thank you, War, for coming on the show. And for anyone wondering, War actually is going to be leading Midwest Weekly for the Herald League. So if you're a enjoyer of the show and want to continue to watch the content after the split, he's going to be the guy in charge. I don't know who's coming in yet to be his co, but could be me, could be CLT, but it might just be someone new. So it's up to War to let us know what he wants to do. But yeah, man, thank you so much for coming on and then
Of course,
partaking in this episode. And we will look
being
forward
invited.
to yeah, of course, brother. We look forward to whoever comes on next, or if we don't have a guest, we also look forward to just seeing you guys again and talking about League of Legends. So until then, GG's. Enjoy the rest of your guys' evening, and I will see some of you guys tonight.